find ourselves in a nice seated position, whatever's comfortable. Maybe it's Sukhasana, which is this cross-legged pose, easy pose. Maybe you'd rather sit on your knees, like on your shins, that's fine. And if you'd like your legs out in front of you, that's fine too. Just get comfortable. Maybe you want to put something under your hips to elevate them. And let's just start settling in. Hands to the knees, aligning the spine, stacking the spine over the hips, kind of pulling back your shoulders, aligning your cervical spine, and maybe you just push your chin back a little bit. We're always leaning our heads forward, so it's nice to just give a little push to the neck for alignment. And from here, just start breathing, paying attention to your breath. Right now, we're just observing. What are your breaths like tonight? Are they shallow or deep? Long or short? Maybe somewhere in between. You may want to close your eyes and just getting into this breathing pattern of natural breath. Coming back to your breath if your mind wanders. And on your next inhale, we're going to do a circular breathing technique, which is really similar to the square breathing technique, but we're going to round out the edges. And we're going to, as we inhale, pause, and exhale, instead of making those sharp corners with square breathing, we're going to see if we can make that a seamless circle, where our inhale just kind of transitions into our pause, and then our exhale transitions out of our pause, meaning we won't be pausing as long with this breath. So count your inhale, match your exhale to that same count, and see if you can round the edges of your pause between breaths. So you should just have this nice inhalation and exhalation, really smooth, and it should be quite relaxing. If you want to draw the circle in your head, feel free to do that. And on your next inhale, facing your palms up, reach up overhead, putting hands together, bringing hands down to heart center. And then on your next inhale, sweeping your hands up again. Exhaling, hands down to heart center. Let's keep doing this on our inhale. And to center on our exhale. Just opening up our shoulders. Starting with a little bit of movement in the upper body. There's no need to go fast. Just follow your breath. And on your next exhale, bringing hands to heart center. Go ahead and remove whatever cushion or anything that you have on your pelvis right now and find a tabletop position for cat-cow. Placing our hands down on the mat, distributing our weight out wide between our fingers, stacking our hips over our knees, and your feet can be shoelace side down, or you can tuck your toes if you like that stretch in your feet, yogi's choice. And on an inhale, drop the belly and come up into cow. And exhale, rounding into cat. Following your breath, inhale, come up into cow. And starting with your tailbone, arching your spine into cat. This weekend in my yoga teacher training, we talked a lot about how motion is lotion. We learned about aging bodies. And if you have arthritis of any type now, which a lot of us do, that applies. Motion is lotion. Don't do anything when it hurts, but a little bit of discomfort is good. Undulating through the spine. Inhale when you come up, and exhale when you come into cat. One of the breathing secrets in asana practice is that typically if you're folding forward, you're exhaling. And if you're opening up or opening your heart, you're inhaling. Come back to a neutral spine, tabletop position. Pressing through your hands, tuck your toes, and push up into downward facing dog. Shooting your hip bones up toward the sky, pedaling out your feet, feeling a nice stretch in the hamstrings. And then slowly walk up to the top of your mat and bring your hands to opposite elbows and just let your torso hang heavy. Ragdoll. If you want to swing side to side, that might feel good. Maybe you want to shake your head yes, shake your head no, and then just exhale into this pose. bending your knees if that helps. Feeling traction through your spine. On your next inhale, put your hands to your shins and flatten your back for half lift. Now, while we're here, let's see how much space we can create between each vertebra in our spine. So, starting with the tailbone, pushing that toward the back of the room, and then the crown of your head, reaching that toward the front. And inhale, exhale. See if you can lengthen your spine in this pose. And on an inhale, go ahead and stand up and grab your strap, belt, scarf, whatever you have tonight. We're going to do our lateral flexion, but with a strap. So go ahead and grab your strap about shoulder distance apart, reaching arms up overhead, standing tall, and on an exhale, coming over to the right. Stretching through the left side body. Inhale back to center. And exhale over to the left. This time sending your breath to your right side. And inhale back to center. Go ahead and just reach your arms out a little wider, holding your strap. And we're just going to kind of do some flossing behind our back. So just kind of moving the strap up and down. And if you find a spot that feels good, you can stay there for a second, or you can just move up and down with your breath. On an exhale, reach your hands back up and we'll start making circles around our head with our strap. Don't hit yourself in the face with the D-ring. I always do that. It might be good to bring it closer to your hand if you've got a D-ring strap. You might hear some little crunchies in your shoulders. That's totally normal. I've got them too. And other direction. Kind of a good brain puzzle. All right. We're going to do another neck stretch with the strap. We did this last week if you were here. For anyone else, we're just placing our strap down on the mat, stepping on the end, and then go ahead and grab the strap tight with your hand and stand up straight. From here, slowly start tilting your head to the opposite side until you feel just a little bit of resistance in your neck. Be very careful here. You don't want to sprain anything. Slowly move your gaze up with your head still tilted. Breathe here. And lower your chin down, keeping the head tilted. And breathe. Raising your chin, taking your hand that isn't holding the strap, putting it to the side of your face, and pushing your head back to center, not making your neck do the work. And we'll switch to the other side. Stepping on that strap with both feet, grabbing the strap taut by your side. And when you're ready, slowly tilting your head to the opposite side of your strap. And keeping your head tilted, take your gaze to the sky. And then lower your chin down, keeping that head tilted. And bring your chin back to center, taking your opposite hand and pushing your head back to neutral. Nice job, everybody. So the next pose we're gonna do is, we haven't done this in a minute, but we're gonna create some heat. So this is our mountain chair flow. So we're gonna start an extended mountain, hands overhead, and exhale into chair. So you're pretty much sitting in an air chair. Inhale, stand up, extending the arms up. Exhale, chair. Inhale, up. Exhale, chair. Just follow this flow with your breath. See if you can build some heat in your body. All right, great job. Come up to the top of your mat for some sun salutations. So we'll start standing in Tadasana, feet hip distance apart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back, shining the crown forward, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Stay here for a minute. And inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, half lift. Exhale, hands to mat, fingers spread wide, stepping the feet back into downward facing dog. Exhale into plank, inhale into plank, knees or toes, and then exhale into chaturanga, lower down slowly. Inhale into cobra. Exhale, tucking the knees and pushing back up into downward facing dog. Step or jump back to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to mat, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, plank, knees or toes. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, bending the knees and pushing up into downward facing dog. Are you feeling some heat? Step back up to the top of your mat. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to mat, feet go back, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank, knees or toes. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just pedal your feet out here. Spread your fingers wide, distributing the weight throughout your fingertips, not putting all that weight into your wrists. And on an inhale, reach the right leg up to the sky, slowly bringing it through in between the hands. Dropping the back leg to a 45-degree angle and rising up with goalpost arms into warrior one. Your front knee should be stacked over your front ankle. On your next exhale, bring your arms out into a T for warrior two, and bring your back foot to a 90-degree angle. Breathing here. On your next inhale, bring your shoulders up really close to your ears. Exhale, release, dropping the shoulders. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, crunching up our shoulders, and exhale, releasing. Gazing over your front fingertips. Inhale, reach your right arm to the sky and drop your back arm to your back leg. Reverse warrior. This pose is all about taking up space. Don't be afraid to do it. Exhale, arms back into a T, warrior two. Exhale, bending the right elbow to the right knee and extending the left fingertips to sky. And you can either stay here or you can create an even bigger line of energy by putting your hand kind of by the side of your ear. So you have one line in your body, starting with your foot and extending through your entire torso and out your fingertips. See if you can feel that line of energy. Breathe here. And on your next exhale, bring your hands back down to the mat and step back into downward facing dog. Lifting the left leg up to the sky and slowly bringing it through. Place it in between your hands and rise up into warrior one. Your back foot should be at a 45-degree angle. Your front knee should be stacked over your ankle. And make some nice lines of energy coming out your fingertips here. Warrior one. On an exhale, bring your hands out into a T, dropping the back foot into a 90-degree angle and gazing over the front fingertips. On an inhale, bring your shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze, 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 and release. One more time, shoulders come up to the ears, and release. Inhale, reaching left hand up to the sky, dropping right hand to right thigh. Then bending the left arm, bring the elbow to the left knee, reach the right hand to the sky, fingertips spread, lines of energy. If you want to go further, bring your arm along the side of your ear. And bring your hands back down to the mat. And just step your back foot in a little bit. We're going to do pyramid pose. So you just want to be in a shorter stance. So you want to be kind of in a half lift here, hinging at the hips, flattening the back, and then start reaching down toward the mat. Once you feel aligned and stable, you can go ahead and release and fold over your left leg. Resting your chest on your thigh, breathing into your hamstring. On your next exhale, go ahead and switch your foot positioning. So bring your right foot to the front and drop your left foot back at a 45-degree angle, just a short stance, warrior legs. And coming kind of back up halfway, hinging at the hips, lengthening the spine, and then finding your fold over onto your right leg. Find a soft edge, nothing too intense, something that's sustainable. Now, keeping your hands where they are, keeping your front right foot where it is, drop your left leg and your left knee into a kneeling lunge. From here, shift forward a bit so you can feel an opening in your left hip flexor. And when you're ready, just kind of scoot your left knee back up a bit and then try to just switch legs in this lunge. So you'll kind of come into a tabletop position. You'll bring your right foot to the top or left foot to the top of the mat, and then you'll drop your right knee and kind of push forward into this kneeling lunge, opening through the right hip flexor and breathing into that space. Release from this pose by bringing your left foot back, left knee to the ground, and coming into tabletop. Inhale into cow. Exhale, arching the spine into cat. And just go through this a few times with your breath, seeing how it feels different from the first round that we did. Does your spine feel a little looser? Just a little bit more mobility there. Maybe you're growing by about 1/2 inch. As we get older, gravity weighs us down and we get shorter. And one way to work with that is to practice yoga, because there are so many spine lengthening poses. So show some love and appreciation for your back tonight. Come back to a neutral position, and then we're going to rise up onto our knees, bringing our hands to our glutes or our back pockets, pushing the hips forward and creating a bit of a back bend. You can also kind of push your glutes down and create some traction in your low back. Now you can stay here, or if you want to go into the full expression of camel pose, tuck your toes and slowly arch your back and drop your hands down to meet your heels. Beware of the Pez head. You know, the Pez candy machines, when you open them up, they like kink their neck. You don't want to do that in a back bend. You want to be able to talk, breathe, swallow. No Pez head. And just breathe here. And on an exhale, come back up and just go through the cat-cow a few more times as a counter pose. Go ahead and kind of Move your legs around, bringing your bottom back down to the mat, coming to a seated position. Grab your strap again. We're going to do Gomukhasana arms or cow face arms. So I'm going to turn around so you can see me. Some of you might know this one. We're going to start by taking our right hand and bringing it behind our back. Then taking our left hand, grabbing onto our right hand, and just kind of pulling it in a little bit more. Don't hurt yourself, be gentle, but see how far you can bring this arm over across your back. Next, reach your left arm up toward the sky, bending the elbow, giving yourself a pat on the back. Now see if you can get your fingertips to touch. If you can't, just grab your strap and use it here. Each side's going to be different, so maybe you can do this side, but the other side will be harder, or vice versa. But use your strap if that helps. Drop your shoulders away from your ears and breathe. Slowly releasing the upper arm down and slowly using that left arm to help you release the right arm. And shake it out. Let's switch sides. Grab that strap if you need it. We're going to bring our left arm across our back with our right hand helping us. Bring that elbow as close into our spine as we can. And once we're there, reaching that right arm up to the sky, patting ourselves on the back. And from here, seeing if we can touch fingers or get closer together with our strap. Try to drop your shoulder blades back, down away from your ears, and breathe here. How does this side feel different? And on an exhale, release your top arm down to the mat and release your bottom arm, maybe using your right arm to help. And then go ahead and lie down on your back. We're gonna do banana pose. So finding a nice place on your back, spine straight. We're going to interlace our fingers and bring them up over our head. You can also grab opposite elbows if you're limited on space. Now, bring your right leg over past the edge of your mat. Just your right leg, maybe to the edge of your mat. Now, bring your left leg over and cross your left ankle over your right ankle, making a curve with your lower body. Take a few breaths here. Maybe you feel this in your hip, your IT band, your low back. Pay attention to what your body's telling you. And on an exhale, let's point our fingers over to the right as well, moving our shoulders and our upper body over to make a crescent shape. Be a banana. Have you been thinking about what you want to let go this fall? Maybe you have a habit that you'd like to break. Maybe there's someone in your life who only takes. Whatever it is, bring that to mind right now. And with your breath, just slowly start to let it go from your mind. Relaxing more into this pose with each breath. If there are any tense parts in your body, find them and relax them. Are you grabbing your hands too tightly? Maybe you're squeezing your ankles together too much or clenching your jaw. Notice these things and try to release them. Maybe your left shoulder blade is a little bit tight. Can you release it to the mat a bit more? Maybe that means coming up out of your banana a bit. And that's okay. Find the spot that's right for you. And on an exhale, uncross your legs and let go of your arms and just come back to center for a moment. Maybe you put your right hand on your belly and your left hand on your heart. And you just breathe for a moment, feeling your belly swell as you inhale and fall as you exhale. Maybe you can feel your heart beating. Just stay in this moment and observe. Now, bring your left foot and only your left foot over to the side of your mat, the left side of your mat. And when you're ready, cross your fingers, bring them up overhead, straight for now. And then bring your right ankle to cross over your left ankle. And just breathe here for a second. Notice any sensations that arise. See if you can breathe into those spaces. Or maybe you need to move your feet a little bit closer to the center of your mat to find a comfortable place. Maybe you want to move them farther away from your mat. Listen to your body. It will tell you. And on an exhale, start to shift your fingers over to the left side. bringing your shoulder blades with you. You can kind of walk your shoulder blades over, and you're making a banana on your left. Breathing here and slowly relaxing into this pose with your breath. I don't know about you guys, but these fall intentions seem a little bit easier to set now after the suspense of our election has been kind of put aside. We can breathe, we can relax, we can think about our future again. We can want nice things for our future. Hopefully not material things, or not too many, but good adventures and good people. And now we can really focus on what we want to let go, because we're letting go of Donald Trump, and that feels so great. Let your mind wander here. But if you go into any negative thoughts, try not to walk down that path. There's no reason to go there right now. We're just observers. A soul and a mind inside of a body. And on your next exhale, uncross your ankles, bring them back to center. Release your hands. And just come into a lying down position. This is where you'll want your bolster or pillow. So go ahead and set that up next to your left thigh, long ways, parallel to your leg. Go ahead and cactus your arms like a goalpost on the ground. Maybe you bring your shoulder blades together a bit more on your back. And when you're ready, we are going to keep our hands in cactus, but we are going to twist our right leg over onto the bolster or pillow next to our left leg. So your hip, you'll be kind of coming onto your left hip and twisting there. We're twisting through the thoracic spine, or sorry, the lumbar spine. So your thoracic spine should still be flat and your shoulder blades should be on the mat. On your next exhale, drop your head to gaze to your right for a supine supported twist. On your next exhale, start releasing your twist, bringing your right leg back to the mat and moving your bolster to the right side of your body, parallel to your right leg. Bring your arms back into that nice cactus position, and on an exhale, start shifting your hips. Maybe you push down through your left foot onto your right hip, and then bring your leg over to rest on the bolster. Trying to keep both shoulder blades touching the mat. Breathe and relax here. And when you're ready, on an exhale, drop your gaze over to the left for a full twist. Sending your breath into all the places that are asking for it. And when you're ready, on an exhale, just start to unwind your lower body. Bringing your lumbar spine flat to your mat. And grab your block. We'll want this in just a moment. So finding a nice flat spot on your back and shoulders. Bring your feet in close to your bottom, as close as you can. And let your arms drop down by the side body, reaching your fingertips for your heels. If you have long arms, you might even be able to touch your heels. Feel this space. And we're going to do some little mini cat-cows just with our tailbone. So inhale, bring your tailbone up toward the sky. Exhale, arch your tailbone back towards your mat. Inhale, tailbone goes toward the sky, pelvis tilts up. Exhale, pelvis tilts back. Inhale, pelvis tilts up, and then push up through your feet into bridge pose. Keeping your palms flat on the mat. Breathing here. Now, if you'd like, you can stay here, or you can start bringing your shoulder blades together underneath you, and then clasp your hands together underneath you. Pushing up into this bridge pose. And breathing into your shoulders. exhale, slowly release each shoulder one by one, slowly, gently coming back down. And this is where you'll want your block. So we're going to push up into bridge pose again and place our block underneath the sacrum, which is basically the top of the tailbone. It's like the back of the pelvis that turns into your tailbone. Should be a flat spot that you feel on your block or pillow, whatever you have as a prop tonight. And just release onto this block. This is great for your SI joint. If you feel some tightness here, it most likely is your SI joint if it's not your low back. Mine gets kind of pinchy sometimes, so I love this pose. The SI joint only rotates 4 degrees. Take some nice deep cleansing breaths here. Maybe you want to take a few exhales out your mouth. And on an inhale, reach your toes toward the sky, coming up into waterfall, our final inversion. Letting the blood and the lymph drain down the legs. Feels so good. If you're ever feeling anxious or restless, having trouble sleeping, try this pose. You can do it against a wall. This really helps kick into that parasympathetic nervous system, relaxes the monkey mind, the fight or flight. Our lymphatic systems also don't have a pump like our blood system does. Our heart pumps our blood throughout our body and back through it. But our lymphatic system, the only way to really move lymph around through our bodies is through massage and inversions. Dry brushing as well. On an exhale, go ahead and slowly release your toes back down to the mat. Push up through your feet, remove your block, and we'll get ready for Shavasana. So go